Wearing the silver and black is a privilege meant for a few, sought out by many.
We're the best team in the world. Simple as that.
You win here, it's special.
But what is it about the Raiders exactly? Is it the shield, a symbol of greatness, influence, unchanging, forever instilling a commitment to excellence?
The Raiders introduced Klint Kubiak as their new head coach this morning.
The colors, the silver and black.
This is no ordinary job. This is the silver and black.
Timeless in every way.
Shoot, what's up, Mr. Ray? How you doing?
Whatever it may be, like us or not, we don't care. Allow us to remind you, there's 31 other teams. Then there are the Raiders.
This is basically the greatest offseason for a single team in NFL history.
It's a new dawn.
It's such an iconic logo.
New challenges, same goal.
There's a lot of hope this is the catalyst.
The pursuit of greatness continues.
And welcome to the dark side.
Just win, baby.
Y'all don't feel like how I feel, and I feel good, and I feel great. Let's get it together. Let's get it together. Y'all don't see these are goosebumps. These are real. You can't fake goosebumps. You want to know why I have goosebumps? You want to know why, Pizzle?
Why you got goosebumps, Black?
Because we're back to commitment to excellence, bro. This is, remember, I've been saying this, and I know nobody else has been saying this, and I'm going to keep saying this. You win championship from the top down, not the player up. And what we're starting to see, and I'm loving what the Raiders is doing, they're really letting us see all the pieces that's working. We're getting an intimate knowledge of who player coaches is and people we never really known. We just thought of them as names when we hear them. Now we know who the Janocos are. Now we know who the Rob Leonards are. Now we know who we're getting to know everybody. And the Raiders have put out, I don't know what you want to call this, a documentary or whatever, and they're breaking down the process of how they got to this greatness, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I have to react to it, and I hope you guys are just here to chill so we can watch it together and then just get, some insight about how you guys feel about it. Today is Friday, so we're not going to have like a cerebral type class today. On this channel, we do a lot of, we intellectual thugs over here. You feel me? We intellectual thugs. We thugged out gentlemen over here. And shout out to the ladies that's out here too, the 2-3% that do show up. So are you ready? Have you seen this already?
No.
Okay, great. What's up with Sacktown Mike? Raider Mike? What's good with Jack Gustav?
What up?
What's up with that? What's up with the gang? All right, let's get to it, man. Let's get to it because I'm doing too much talking. Let's get it, Raiders. Smoke him if you got him.
It'll be from 60. For the win. Cole puts it down. The kick is on its way. Good from 60. And with 8 seconds to go. On the final game of the season, the Raiders go into the offseason with a win and the #1 draft pick in April.
I want to thank all of our coaches, all of the players, all of the support staff,
that despite our record, they worked tirelessly, they poured their hearts into it, they never wavered, and it was great to see that culminate with a win.
And you're fired.
We have a massive opportunity in front of us this offseason to set this organization, this franchise on a course for success and provide the results that Raider Nation and the Las Vegas community deserves and expects. We intend to tack it full on. The work has already begun. There's a lot to be excited about here, and it is going to be my responsibility to lead this up and set this organization on a course of sustained success.
Let's go, Spytek.
And then I was mic'd up for an entire weekend. I can stare at the camera, right?
You're staring at me.
I'm staring at you?
Yes.
Okay. I learned a lot, and I wrote a lot of self-critical things down throughout the year. I think it's just to be honest with where we're at and what we're trying to do, and to live in that space. I think we're trying to show progress. You know, we have to admit the mistakes that we made in the past. This was a critical offseason for us to start building this this organization and this franchise in a manner of which we really want. And you know, there's excitement with that. There's a little bit of stress that goes with that, but it wasn't anything that we wouldn't expect or didn't welcome as part of the job. And as we talked more and more about it, we knew where we were at, and we were determined to be thoughtful with our approach, prepared, and just to let it rip.
It's going to be a fun off season as we continue to talk about who the #1 overall pick. It's going to be very busy for all of us, and we look forward to it. We love talking about the Raiders organization.
Well, and don't forget all that money, right? The Raiders have a lot of cap space too. So
we haven't even talked.
Part of the 2 free agents.
The team aspect of football is, I think, what I love the most, and it's most visible on the field. But the teamwork that must go into running a draft or running free agency is vitally important to the team that we ultimately see on Sundays. And so to have Brian Stark, you know, he has a really unique perspective on offensive football and quarterback play. To have him and his expertise in that space has been a big add for me, but really for the entire Raiders organization. You know, Brandon Hunt's journey through the Steelers organization and then to Philadelphia, 2 of the winningest franchises in really the last 20 years since he's been doing it. He's one of the most optimistic and upbeat people that you could want to have in a football building. And then BY is probably as organized and detailed of a person as I've been around in that college director space. You know, his ability to process a ton of information, to organize it. You know, everything is aligned. You know, every detail is taken care of, from the player reports to the alerts that we put on each player to the background. It is so well organized and coordinated amongst all the road scouts, the area scouts.
It was a challenging season. You know, there was some disappointment there. There was a lot of promise too, but coming out of the season, you know, there were some holes, and we knew we needed to overall build the depth on the team.
All right, this is for copyright, you know, this copyright. You know what I do like, that we're getting to know people like the Brian, Stark, assistant GM, right? Mm-hmm. So we're learning about these people that are really integral about what we're doing, and I'm loving that we're getting a chance to look at these people. Make sure y'all hit the like button, y'all. Hit that like button so we can get this into the algorithm. So I do like that. Really, I really do like that.
Yep.
Continuing to build on the young nucleus that had kind of started to be assembled, making sure that we're adding to that nucleus with the right type of character, and then focusing on those positions where we knew we could create immediate competition for starting roles.
Spy's really been very clear about the type of people that we want to bring in. It really starts with guys who want to be Raiders. That's something that's really cool and unique to us, because there's a lot of pride in wearing the shield and wearing the silver and black.
Al Davis and Mark Davis and the history of this organization is really the bad boys, really. So we want to bring in toughness. We want to bring in leadership. We want to bring in smart players. We want to bring in athletic players. We want to bring in the fastest, toughest, smartest, baddest, meanest group of people together.
It's so easy to become a podcaster with Riverside. First, go to Riverside and open an account. When you're ready to...
They got us.
Yeah, they did.
The Las Vegas Raiders have a unique offseason ahead. Starting with the first overall pick in the 2026 draft, something that hasn't happened for the Raiders since 2007. For John Spytek and the Raider Scouts, these next few months are the most important months of the year. Building a roster from the ground up to remain competitive for years to come. It starts now.
Forward here. And this is obviously a big week for us as a group, kind of set the course for how we're going to attack these next couple months. And it's really important because of how well positioned we are with the draft too. You know, we're set to have 10 picks. Show them real quick. Obviously 1-1, 2, early 2, which will be the 4th in that round. We have the 3, which is a later 3. And then we have 3 4s, a 5, 2 6, and a 7. So a lot of draft capital, and like Spy always says, we'll see if we walk out of there with 10. It might be more, it might be less. And I have a lot of confidence that we're going to get it right because of the people in this room. I especially like
So we'll have our initial meetings, and those are primarily focused on makeup and character. We will set the board by player value, but it's primarily to make sure that we identify the players that we want to spend more time with throughout the process, and really make sure that we target the players that we already have determined have a great makeup for the Raiders.
They're watching film, watching practice, watching game tape, and really prepare for the next phase, which is the All-Star games.
So just like we've been saying all offseason, is they've been bringing in certain type of players, high character players. So that's why sometimes we might have seen players that was on the draft board that was, I don't know, athletically more gifted, but we went after the guys that had a similar character type, so to speak. And so we see here how important that really was going into it, if not like the most important.
Yep. Yeah, for me, the most important thing was getting Linderbaum.
Definitely helped.
Leadership takes many forms within a football organization. For scouts, it means identifying future Raiders. Their role is transformative, shaping the team's success and leaving a lasting impact on the franchise for years to come.
Our young guys are great. Our scouting assistants are awesome. Yeah, we have 4.
Really?
Yeah, we have 4. We hired a 4th this year. The All-Star games are a really cool, unique look at players outside of their, call it comfort zone, outside of their school, outside of their campus, outside of their scheme. So there's a lot of cool views in practice in terms of the one-on-ones. And then it's another touch point for us with the players. Our first time talking to the players is at these All-Star games. But it's exciting because we have 10 picks, and obviously a lot of early ones. And we can finally get out of purgatory in a lot of ways.
Mobile, Alabama, the home of the Senior Bowl. I've been to a couple, 2 or 3 Senior Bowls. I think the last one I went to, Gruden was the coach of the Senior Bowl. The last time I went.
Nice.
Well, my family's from Mobile, so my parents. So I've grown. I've been out here so many times. So Senior Bowl is definitely who's been out here.
It's a pivotal part of our franchise, like this period right here. So there's a lot of hope that this is the catalyst for, the turnaround. But like the sentiment around us has really changed because there's so much optimism and hope now. And it's like shifted from now like, hey, you guys have a plan and you got a chance, and this could be the point where you turn it. Yeah.
We are now entering week 2 of the Raiders coach search ever since Pete Carroll was relieved of his duties. And we know exactly a lot of names that have been reported out there. The goal obviously is always going to be the same, to just win, baby, I guess I could say that, and go from there. So as we go forward here, there's going to be a lot of...
Lock in speed, lock in price, lock in gig. Mediacom fiber-powered 1 gig internet. Now just $50.
I didn't put it on my other account where it was no commercials. I messed up right there, y'all. My bad. I fumbled that.
Success. It sets the tone from the top, creating a domino effect that shapes mindsets and provides a trusted voice that reminds us of who we are.
What does the future look like as a head coach in this league for you? Because it's going to happen.
Yeah, that's up to God, and we're gonna enjoy tonight. Yeah.
So no answers on the network.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. You guys know I'm going to Las Vegas, so I'm fired up about it. But tonight, one more for one more night. Hell yeah, I'm going. Of course I'm going.
Of course he's going.
Of course I'm going. Do y'all remember that? And the beautiful thing about Kubiak now, looking at that in hindsight, is he just like to catch people off guard. Like, he's unpredictable, because usually in those situations, they keep it tucked under their vest until after the, at least after the Super Bowl, until they leave the Super Bowl. So he sounded like he was very genuine. He's like, yeah, that's probably like the most cuss word I heard him say right there. So I'm very excited. So he kept, he keep people off guard. I like that. That's in his DNA, obviously, it looks like. Were you expecting him to announce it then?
No, I thought he was going to dog the question out.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to, but we already knew already anyway. Everybody already knew he was coming to the Raiders.
Yeah, at that point, for the most part.
Yep. Where else would he go?
Because there's only like...
Klint Kubiak's going to the Las Vegas Raiders, and I love the pick. I love the hire.
Kubiak is very good from an offensive football perspective. He has literally spent every breathing moment of his life in the NFL.
What he's done with this football team, what he's done with Sam Darnold, we're in the offensive era, quarterback whisper era.
Other teams should be a little bit nervous for the puzzle pieces that you guys are putting together.
Nah. Feeling on the private jet. Look.
Thank you for coming on a special day for this organization. I want to thank all the great Raiders sitting up here with me right now. It's an honor to share this stage with them. We set out to take our time, to be deliberate, to be meticulous, to find the right leader for this organization going forward. We have a uniquely challenging offseason with the first overall pick and new leadership at the head coach, but that's why it was so important to us to find the right man to lead this organization forward. But ultimately, that led us to Coach Klint Kubiak to be the next leader. We had to be patient. We had to let him go win a Super Bowl. I'm really proud to welcome him to Raider Nation as a partner. There's a lot of great things ahead. He can't wait to get to work. We have told him that he is going to go celebrate his Super Bowl tomorrow, so he's going to take a walk.
Yeah, man. We're excited.
And I want to welcome Klint Kubiak as our next head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Man, he got to talk to C. Wood before he went out there. I think that was nervous. That's as nervous as you're gonna see Coach Kubiak. He looked like he was really nervous right there because I remember when he came out, he said he had those notes. He's not really good at notes, so he kind of like ditched the notes, but he kept trying to look at the notes just now. So I think that's about as nervous as we gonna see our coach right there, y'all.
This is no ordinary job. This is the silver and black. This is the Raiders. This is a historic franchise. You know, when you say commitment to excellence, okay, and you look at the walls around here, you look at the players on this wall, and there's a history. There's a history of Hall of Fame players here. There's a history of Super Bowls, and that's what the ultimate goal is. But you have to be about the work if you want to get there. And I guarantee you that myself and our staff, we're going to be about the work. This is the Raiders, one of the most historic franchises in the NFL, with a great history that I want to be a part of. I want to be a part of furthering that history.
Las piezas se están juntando para los Raiders de Las Vegas. Nuevo entrenador en jefe, listo. Ahora es a toda velocidad hacia la extensa temporada baja, donde las oportunidades para construir la plantilla son abundantes. La primera parada del tren es en Indianápolis.
2026 NFL Scouting Combine is underway in Indianapolis. Welcome to First Stop Indy, presented by EO Fitness.
So to go to the combine and have a chance to sit down with these guys and really meet them in person for the first time, I would describe it as speed dating.
Hey, John. What's up, man? Nice to meet you. You're your friend of John Spytek. How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you guys. Thank you guys. Come on, say hi. Oh shoot! What's up, Mr. Brady? How you doing? Tom, how you doing? Yeah, love it. How you doing? I'm great. I'm blessed here at the combine right now. You know, hope we get this interview going. No, I'm great. Ready for the opportunity.
All right, well, enjoy everybody. Just want to say hi and yeah, good luck on everything and just keep being your.
Dude back there, like, man, how come he get to talk to him? How come he get to hold the phone?
Hello.
You're doing a great job.
Appreciate it. Thank you. God bless.
Yeah, same here, babe. Take care. We'll see you soon.
We have a plan for each man that walks in that room. We've thought about it. We know what questions we're going to ask. We know what we want to get out of that 18 minutes.
So we've talked to all these people. We talked to you at the Senior Bowl. We talked to Brett. Everybody, tell us something we don't know about you. Do you feel like you put a lot of pressure on yourself? I got to talk to you a little bit at the Senior Bowl, but for everybody else, can you kind of give us your story, just how you got here, the path through Arkansas State and Auburn?
It was more so I started my senior year of high school, had one progression right there, and then transferred to Arkansas State, more smaller division. It was more so just trying to get my feet wet at Arkansas State, trying to see what it was, trying to see just the game of football, trying to get soak in as much as I can.
Can you give me a cadence on one? Yeah, sounds good. No clap. Set up. Can I set up? Yep.
Shot! 118! 118 shot!
Talked about your confidence increasing too.
Why do you think they did that?
I don't know. Maybe they were checking to make sure he can get under center. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Why do you guys in the chat? Why do you guys think that they asked him to do that?
Maybe put some pressure on him.
I'm just curious what you guys think that was for. Yeah, I think the reason why I think they had him do that is because they want to see how strong his voice was, how confident he is. You know, was he going to hesitate, be somewhat shy when he did it? You know, because it's really awkward to simulate a snap count when you're not really, you know, doing that. So I think they're just trying to it's kind of like a heat check.
Yeah, like a little speed bump. They threw a little speed bump in there for him.
Yeah, and that's true. Good point. Yeah, he rarely saw the cadence in college. I agree with that. So it's kind of like a heat check.
Where did you change your approach on the field, off the field to get like to this point now where you are?
Just seeing myself grow from like never playing football and actually like getting a chance to actually do something that I've never done and only see myself grow. It was more so like that was the reason why I do love the game, because I've always seen myself grow. So it's more so just still being able to do that and then do it to the level game that I got and just show that. It's more so like that's who I am. That's me.
Key was a fun process to kind of get to know him. We had a clear view for the player he could be, saw a lot of upside in his rush ability. He's got a real chip on his shoulder, and you feel it. You can feel his intensity.
I think he's got a ruggedness to him that you look for on the field defensively and in the locker room and the meeting rooms defensively. I think he's a player that can help bring some edge to the defense.
So what do you think? What do you guys think about that right there? Because when I hear that, I think about JPJ. Everybody seems to think that it's a bad thing to have a player with an edge. I don't think it's good to have a bunch of players with an edge. But JPJ is the odd man out because they don't like his personality or he's too wild or whatever. I do see something similar in T-Ryan the same way. Like I can tell that he's one of those players that you're gonna have to rein it back or make sure you monitor him because until he matures.
Yeah. Well, all these young men need to mature a little bit. You know, they're millionaires and they're in their mid-20s, early to mid-20s. You know what I mean? Late 20s, whatever. Some of them are in their late 20s right now, but on the other side of 25 for sure. But you know, they got to be taught these things at home. You know what I mean? Like you got to know how to control yourself. You got to have self-control. You can't just go out there and be drinking and shit, acting a fool.
He was the same way at the Senior Bowl too. Like edgy, passionate.
Spytek.
You're on board?
Love it. Just like you play fast and out.
Obviously, being the leader that you were at Arizona, say you come to our team, the Raiders, how would you navigate through that as a first year rookie in a room of grown men?
Yeah. No, I'll know that there's guys that have been playing for a long time. There's guys that have significant experience at this level, and I will be a sponge to those type of people. I'm not going to pretend I know anything more than anyone. I'll be, in everybody's ear asking questions, trying to get as much knowledge about, what it takes to succeed at this level, from people that have done it and lived it, and coaches that have seen it. So I think I'll mesh really well. Like I'm an easy guy to get along with. I'm not gonna do a whole lot of barking or anything. I'm just gonna go about my process how I always have, and earn the respect of the guys in the room that way.
Yeah.
I think that shows maturity because we were talking about the players being a little bit older. Like Stooks is one of those players. I know some people were leery of the fact that he's a little bit older, even Mendoza to some degree.
Yeah, he's 27 or something.
No, he ain't that old. He's only like 23. But that's old for older. But 27 that's cold work. That's Max Crosby age. Yeah, but having a more mature players, it has its benefits, and I think Stooks just showed that essentially he's not going to have that like bright light, bushy tail type response to things, and you can coach him harder than you could maybe like a younger player.
Right. Well, like a lot of these players, it ain't just a younger player. A lot of these players are soft, like Sharman.
That was one of my favorite, probably, interviews of all time. And I don't say that to be hyperbole. Traden was extremely down to earth, comfortable in his own skin, and had just rare intelligence.
When he short motioned down and got a little closer to the core, I decided like it was too far for me to get over the top of one. So I just locked the corner on him, and I'm locking two now, vertical.
I would say my leadership style is servant leader. I believe I've had a lot of good experience, especially with the transfer portal. You have so many guys coming in and out. And I believe there's two things you need to be with a leader. And two things I think is you got to build equity with your teammates.
Hold on, I think he was talking about that play that everybody that they keep showing that he jumped over the guy. I think that's what Traden Stukes was talking about. Let's go back.
I've had a lot of
like it was too far for me to
down to earth, comfortable in his own skin, and had just rare intelligence.
When he short motioned down and got a little closer to the core, I decided like it was too far for me to get over the top of one. So I just locked the corner on him, and I'm locking two now, vertical.
I would say my leadership style is servant leader. I believe I've had a lot of good experience, especially with the transfer portal. You have so many guys coming in and out. And I believe there's two things you need to be with a leader. And two things I think is you got to build equity with your teammates. And with that, you got to be a good player. You got to be a good player. Players are going to respect good players, and that's number one. You can't be the 7th-string quarterback and calling a team meeting. The second thing, I believe, is just the respect of your teammates. And the way you gain that, I believe, is through my work ethic, the way that I care about them, and also my resiliency. Whenever I get pushed down or in a tough situation, always able to give my best shot and always able to dig them out. Those are all things. And toughness, too. There's been so many times I get killed. Again, like killed this season. But I've always gotten up, and I think my teammates respect that.
That was our first time, we had an idea of if, the chance that we have the number one and use the number one overall pick, it's going to be this guy. So let's really get to know him and get to feel him. And the best thing about it was like, he was completely normal. He was completely comfortable outside of just the conversation. The football came real easy and natural to him. You felt leadership qualities. He has that winning intangible that you wish you could bottle up and describe and measure. But what was great about the interactions we were able to have with Fernando is you just felt better and better about him every time you had an interaction with him.
To the pump.
And that's something we hear a lot often. That, a lot of people have certain perceptions of him, and then they think it's kind of like act or something like that. Like Eddie Haskell. You remember Eddie Haskell?
Oh, yeah.
For y'all that don't know who Eddie Haskell is, this is why I say we grew up in the best era, because we had great references. Eddie Haskell. Let me see if y'all know who Eddie Haskell is in the chat. But anyway, they think he's giving Eddie Haskell vibes, right?
Yeah.
And then when they meet him again, it's like, oh my gosh, this is just really who he is. He is one of those guys where his reputation precedes him, and then when he shows up, it kind of matches that. So I can understand what they're saying. I can really see that being authentic in Mendoza. We the people, what's good?
What's up, we the people?
Oh yeah, there we go, Sacktown Raider Mike. There we go. There we go. Nah, bro, you're not old. You just seasoned like the rest of us. You seasoned, my guy. You seasoned. This will cut off the beard, though. I thought, I meant to say something about that. Why you cut the beard off, Brody?
Yeah, I don't know. It just got it comes and it'll be back in a few months.
Right.
It ain't gonna stop growing, yo. I don't know. I just get tired of it, trying to eat and shit. The sides of my stuff getting. I'm tired of it. Stuff getting stuck in there. When I spit, sometimes it's hanging on my shit, and I'm good.
And then we're going to come down to what we call in our offense the cheese route, kind of holding the cheese. And then we're going to work backside.
And I got a question. In one of your press conferences at the end, you said you had a lot of media training.
Yeah.
So, what's different about the way that maybe the media training projected you to the masses and the guy that we're sitting here talking to?
Right now, I would say that, I didn't have social media this season, so the media painted a picture about me then was maybe a little different than my true personality. Especially at the Ohio State game, after I said flipping instead of. And at that point, it was like, okay, he doesn't curse. He's like good at two-shoe, and I didn't know. Like my whole thing is like you gotta communicate. You gotta communicate with your teammates, communicate with your coaches. So let me get really good at speaking. I've always taken speech classes. I've always looked on YouTube videos how to communicate. How to be a better leader. I'm a huge reader as well. So with that, it's developed senses where people are like, oh, this guy's ChatGPT. But it's whenever you ask any of my team, I'm sure I don't want to speak for them, but I've been able to connect with my teammates really, really well, and not like a ChatGPT scenario.
How far are we driving?
Huh?
How far are we driving?
Oh, we're just going up the hill over there.
Okay.
Not too far, not too far. Y'all take your time now.
We'll get you down on this elevator where you need to go, okay?
Thanks so much. Hey, Samuel. Everybody doing all right? Good. How are you? Good.
Let's go, cool. Yes, Pat. Let's go, cool. All right, coach.
Want to thank everybody for coming to come see our script. We're starting for Con Go. Appreciate you guys again.
What was impressive about Fernando, obviously the throwing ability, but what really stood out to us was his command.
Hey, big. Boys, you're out. Cut.
Yes, sir, KB.
Pretty good.
Ball, man. Good ball. Good ball, boys. Good catch.
I think that was a special moment for a lot of us to be in that building, to watch him lead that workout, to be there for his teammates, to grow the way he did, but most importantly, like to be the general on the field.
Hey, Coach. How you doing? Good to meet you. Versus college director, representing the way we tackle football.
As we look in the mirror, we're reminded of the history lifting us up, standing on the shoulders of giants, mavericks.
The flame that would burn brightest here is the will to win, is the will to win, is the will to win.
This chapter for the Las Vegas Raiders is a new beginning, a chance to remind the world of who we are. Take notice, because we are the silver and black.
So we are the silver and black, right? So I can say though, and I'm not primarily a vibes guy, but you can tell that the culture has shifted. Of course, we got to see how it translates on the field, but you could tell when things are going in the right direction. So, what's your thoughts, bro, about the nation right now, the state of the nation?
Well, I think we're in a real good place right now with this with the way they've been making these decisions from the top down, making sure getting the coaching staff together. Everything that they've done so far has accumulated to a point to where we are right now, which is going into training camp. And that's where we need to go, and we need to keep working and working and working, and then get in here against Houston, play a little scrimmage game or whatever, get a little scrimmage with them, see if we can bully them around a little bit, because they got a real good defense. The Texans got a really good defense. So that's going to be interesting. And then we just got to go from there. And then we got preseason. We're going to see what the talent is. We're going to evaluate the talent. That's probably the first time we're going to get to see Fernando.
El Capitan.
Or we're going to see AOC. We might see Captain Kirk for I don't know a possession, maybe two. I don't know, but they may not even bring him in. But they might want to bring him in for a series just to get his timing going, see if he can score a touchy. And your boy wouldn't let him sit down until they score a touchy, but that's just your boy.
Yeah.
You got to earn your break.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand that. That's how it used to be. So, Raider First Down says, one thing to remember with Fernando, his speech is deliberate and choppy because when he was a kid, he had a huge speech and stuttering problem. Yeah, I peeped that. And I remember when he was mentioning that, I peeped how, he speaks in a certain cadence. I didn't have an issue with it. A lot of people have a fear of public speaking. I think public speaking was more fear than death for a while, But I just know that public speaking is something that, you have to be aware of. And a lot of people that speak in the public, they've taken some sort of communications class or they just like to talk a lot.
Yeah, people that read a lot like to talk a lot for some reason.
I can see the correlation. So the Raiders the Raiders will maybe win 5 games if they're lucky. First of all, it won't be luck while we win. First of all. Second of all, be prepared for a little more than that.
Yeah,
we're learning how to win again.
What do you mean we got to learn how to? I don't know what people mean by learning how to win. Like, I'm trying to understand this whole learning how to win. I'm sure Captain Kirk knows how to win. He won the last 4 games in Atlanta last year. Captain Kirk knows how to win. It's whether or not the offensive line is going to keep him on his feet or not. That's what's going to determine everything. We went over this yesterday. It's the offensive line.
It's not going to be that. It's not going to be like. It's not going to. See, when we saying things like, if the offensive line keep them upright, yeah. But see, that's all. That's always conditional thing. Or if he doesn't get hurt. I'm not saying because you said that. These are the things we all say, and those things are very conditional in every situation. But like you said, Kirk Cousins know how to win. Now, learning how to win. This is when you haven't won in a while, or you haven't established a culture of winning. Then you don't know how to act when the game requires certain moments. The moments that require you to step up above what you've been doing or stop somebody from doing that thing right there that I just explained. And so if you can't tell the gravity of the game or paying attention to the game and the ebbs and flows of the games like that and knowing when to step on their neck and then when not to step on it to keep from getting your neck stepped on, then you don't really know how to win. And so why you think Tom Brady knew the gravity of the moments? Why do certain quarterbacks make that play right when they need to consistently? Because they know the gravity of the moment. And so it's okay for one player to know because the quarterback can know, but the team have to know that. Because the quarterback wakes people up and say, hey, wait, this is the drive we need. And that's why you need a certain kind of quarterback to come in and make people aware that's not even thinking about that. Because they could just be thinking about their job and be like, all right, O-line, if we punch it in right here and at least get 3 right here, but we trying to get 7, but if we score right here, the pressure makes a 2-possession game, and that's going to force them to do things they don't want to do, and we'll help our defense out. That's the type of stuff that you got to tell your players. Now, if the players already know that, and when you tell them that and they already know that, then they're going to elevate their game to a certain level because they're all on the same level and they all can lock in. When you don't have that kind of synergy and chemistry or used to winning, then you have to learn how to win. That's kind of how I took it. The long story short.
Okay. I was just a little confused on how you learn how to win. That's all. Because usually you just go out there and play, and if you're good enough, you win. I don't know about learning how to do nothing.
Yeah, no. 'Cause you could beat a better team. You could beat a better team and lose because as soon as you face some adversity, just like some of these Raider fans, as soon as they get adversity, oh my gosh, he's the worst this, and just have this negative attitude. Like as soon as he throw a pitch, oh my gosh, So those are the type of players that kind of make it hard for you to win, because those are the people because that kind of attitude is infectious. Even if the player is not even on the field playing, that attitude can go across the. That's how sometimes you might see a fight on the sideline, or an old lineman go over and say something to a D lineman or something, and then they get into it, because those kind of things happen. But if the team is in sync and they know, like let's say like the Patriots, and they know, okay, this is the moment, and then Tom Brady is walking up and down and he looking at the old lineman talking about let's go, he means let's go right now, and they know that. Because I'm sure he's been saying let's go all game and they've been stalling or whatever, but he like, let's go right now. Like they can look in his eyes and they know what's up, versus the moment being too big and they get scared and fold. So winning is an intentional thing. You don't get lucky and win.
Nope.
Sometimes the ball goes, sometimes you might get a little love from the game gods, but since you need a little bit of that, but primarily winning is not a lucky thing.
No, it's a lot of work. There's a lot of work involved in winning.
Yeah. What's up, Weber? Be the people was good. Steve Logan was good with you. We'll be 7th in the draft in 2027. Oh, will be. You must not be a Raider fan. 7th in the draft, huh? Okay.
I can't see Kirk Cousins losing 13 games, bro.
Me neither. Me neither. Thank you, bro. Me neither, bro. Me neither, bro. I can't see him losing 13 games in the season, and he's playing in those games. I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing that at all. He's never even been that kind of quarterback.
He's never been that bad, but we'll see. But
That's an excellent point, bro.
This is what people expect, though. Like, you think he's gonna lose, like 13 games this year? If he loses 13 games this year, there's gonna be something. There's something else wrong.
Yeah, it's definitely something else wrong. And I'm gonna get to the rest of these comments, but I do want to pitch something that we're doing. I'm doing it on Fridays. I'm doing like a smoke show, and then we're gonna talk about 5 of the most outrageous. 5 of the outrageous trade talks, or are they outrageous at all? We're gonna talk about that, and then we're gonna have a session where we see if a take is hot or not. If it's a hot take or not so hot take, and then we're gonna have a segment where we can have the fans call in, and they can get off where they're mad at. They can vent. They can talk about, have smoke with something I've said, something Pizzle said, something someone else said. And so let me show you guys what I mean by, is this a hot take or not so hot take? And this is an example of what we're going to have on the show tonight.
I'm more optimistic about the offensive line because I know what it was 2 years ago. Yeah. Years ago, followed this team, right? And you got guys.
It didn't play, did it? It didn't play.
I'm more optimistic about the offensive line because I know what it was 2 years ago. Yeah. Years ago, followed this team, right? And you got guys like Jordan Meredith, that was the 5th highest ranked offensive line right guard, in 2024. How do you go from being the 5th ranked top, right guard in the NFL to being moved over to center to now still getting backup reps? So, I hope they figure it out with Jordan Meredith and give him a chance to play where he should be. I feel like JPJ should be the backup center right now. Okay. And, give these guys, Jordan Meredith, Caleb Rogers, Trey Zune, whoever, a chance for that right guard position.
So essentially, they're saying JPJ shouldn't be starting and let Rodgers and all that. So is that a hot take, or is that a not so hot take? And we're gonna go over those. I have like a couple more we'll go over, and we'll rate those things. Like we'll rate them. So y'all make sure y'all show up later tonight. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button so y'all could be a part of the smoke show tonight. But then I have to change the voices up to protect the innocent or the guilty. You know.
No, yeah, no, protect the guilty from the innocent.
Right. Okay, We the People says some of these NFL players be graduating college and can't speak the senses. Yeah, they don't even go to class sometimes. Doesn't make sense to graduate college and can barely put a sentence together.
That's true. Right on, bro. I gotta cut out.
All right, brother. Thank you.
Yep. Right on, chat. I'll see you guys later on, maybe tonight. I'm not sure if I'll be around, but I'll try and make it.
Yeah, write that out.
I'm a Raider though. Later.
Yeah, for sure, brother. Okay, so you guys on the podcast tell when the last time we had won 9 or 8 games. That's how bad this organization is. Yeah, the organization have been bad, but does that mean they're gonna always be bad? Matter of fact, are you a Raider fan? Why you have like a lot of smoke? Or you can pull up later tonight. I should give you guys a number now. I'll make a community post. It's going to be 510 603-6137. But I'll get that number for you guys. Yeah, we haven't. But what they got to do it right now, though? Let me see. We got no wide receivers are. So you're a Raider fan, okay? All right. Well, if you're a Raider fan, then I'm it's good. You can say it. You can say get off where you mad at. I can understand that. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna necessarily win the Super Bowl right now, but we definitely got to do some things to turn in that direction because it's not like you guys are saying like it's luck. Luck is if one year that we just happen to play and we just win all the games and then we win the Super Bowl and then we go back into purgatory. Like that's luck. That rarely happens. Usually when teams win the Super Bowl, it's because they have a competent head office, competent GM to make some good drafts and bring in good players and good coaches, and they all on the same page instead of the defensive coordinator funking with the head coach that's funking with the offensive coordinator that has one of his sons on his staff while he's over here trying to sabotage this coach so this coach can get fired so he think he can get the head coaching job. Like you're not going to win championships like that because you can only play up to the level of the process that you have. You might can, like I said, you might can overachieve a little bit, but the teams that's like that all the time and consistent, they will beat you in the playoffs. That's just how that works. So that's how that going to work. So I don't know what you guys expect. You guys, and what's baffling to me is this: is when we brought in McDaniels, even AP to a degree, everyone was excited and elated and jubilant and optimistic. I don't know to what degree because I don't think any of us really thought we was gonna. Well, actually, let me take that back because y'all did believe that we was gonna win 10 games once Pete Carroll said that he's used to winning 10 games. When to me, I heard that means that we can turn this corner and we can get in the direction where we can win 8, 9, 10 games. But we took that to mean 10 games this year, and then it all fell apart because Chip Kelly was sabotaging the squad. But we don't have that now. So now that we have a competent, Mark Davis is out the way. Tom Brady is in his like second or third year of actually trying to, find the right vibe, like one of the people in one of the chat writers said. like because he's about vibes, which he is, and he didn't make all the best choices in the beginning, which is fine with me. But as long as you make a choice and live with it, and then when we didn't, like they said in the documentary, like when we didn't make the best choices, then we own those, and we pivot off them fairly quickly. Like the Chip Kelly thing, we got rid of that fairly quickly. Usually what we'll do is we'll try to address it in the off season, then they talk us into trying to like another half a season or a contingent plan or whatever. We even moved off of Pete Carroll, and for making the right decisions, it opened it up for Kubiak, which is a beautiful thing because he came in, he was able to pick his quarterback because these coaches, especially first time coaches, you're attached to the quarterback that you have. Like, look at Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn got a problem over there because now his name is attached to Geno Smith. I'm not saying Geno Smith is the worst person to have his name attached to, but I'm pretty sure if he had to have his choice, he would have wanted someone younger and with a higher ceiling at this point in his career. So did y'all hear the clip? Do y'all think that was hot take or not so hot take? Let me look and see what y'all say. We got no wide receivers. Well, I don't know. I don't know if we don't have no wide receivers. What do you mean by we don't have no wide receivers? Because we don't have any high profile wide receivers, or we might have one proven wide receiver other than maybe Naylor, and he's not. I would agree that we have some young wide receiver group. Now, do I think we need to grade them on the metric that you would normally grade them? Not in a Klint Kubiak offense. Not when you've seen an offense get rid of DK Metcalf and get better, because now you don't have to feed an ego or a wide receiver that feel like he needs to have half the targets. Now you get to run an offense because there's no egos in the wide receiver room, which is probably the biggest set of egos on the team is in the wide receiver room. So they don't have room to have those egos because you have Trey Tucker, he's overachieving. Naylor getting his chance because he's been playing underneath other quality wide receivers. Jay Best should have a chip on his shoulder because they keep trying to make him a tight end. And they keep lying on him, talking about he can create separation. Like, where y'all getting this from? Like, I don't. What is it? And plus, NFL open and separation. What do y'all mean by separation? Like, y'all act like he can't catch the ball or he can't get passes thrown to him. I don't know, but I'm gonna look for that this year because I think people are hearing it and then they're just regurgitating it. But I don't know. I haven't seen that. So, but he has a lot to prove still, though. DT Thornton, he has to prove something too. I think these wide receivers can be competent, and I think they can have a breakout year considering how much they, were able to produce last year. And plus, I think Pete Carroll just had a thing about starting rookies at the beginning of the year or heavily relying on them at the beginning of the year. You have to kind of start DT because DT stretches the field and keeps the defense honest. Although we didn't have a bunch of different complicated routes where you could tell where the primary receiver was. Well, usually wasn't DT, but our wide receiver room is we don't know. We don't know. It just depends on how it gets schemed up. But I like the fact that we don't have egos in that room, and that's going to be very helpful. What time is the show tonight? It's going to be at 6 o'clock Pacific time. Yeah, 6 o'clock Pacific time. So I don't know where you are. 6 o'clock West Coast time. I was thinking more like 6:30. 6:30. No, it is 6:30. I'm sorry. I was thinking between 6:30 or 7. I might do 7 though. But 6:30. Let's just say 6:30. I'm shooting for 6:30. I mean, if you want to pull up too, you can pull up. Like if you're a regular around here, you can pull up for the smoke shows for sure. If you're a regular. Because actually it'll work better because you guys we can all answer the questions together, because once the season starts, you guys are going to want to come here and vent and get off where you mad at. And for me, this is a way for me to vent too, because I keep hearing a lot of these things, and I keep saying, like, where are these things coming from? Why are these fans saying certain things? And I'm like, what are they based on? And then I saw somebody talked a little too much. And then I was like, whoa, wait a minute. That's where they get this stuff. Like we did a show yesterday. Y'all heard, I was looking at article I was listening to somebody talk about an article that they had asked somebody that they heard from say secondhand that this player ain't a good fit. And I was like, this is like fourth removed. Like, this is like the game of telephone. Like, I know I can't believe this. And then you telling me that one person saying that, and this same person heard, believe it because they watched them for one practice? Like, what? And then, so now that's a whole narrative that JPJ is, once again, another season where the coaching staff ain't vibing with him. Like, where have y'all heard any of the coaches say anything like that? As much as they didn't talk, as many press conferences that we didn't see, as many pressers that we didn't see, as many shows that we didn't see, that the Raiders, I don't remember the Raiders ever really doing this much in their media team. But then again, I've always tuned out at the postseason part. But I don't think they was doing it like this. And I haven't seen them say anything about JPJ. I haven't. So I don't know. Maybe you guys can help me with that. Here we go. We have plenty of wide receivers, but they're all very close to each other in value and quality. Yes, I agree with that. I totally agree with that. And I'm okay with that. Because if they do what they're supposed to do, we're going to be fine. Because the way Kubiak likes to coach is whatever individually you can be average or even slightly below average. But the way that we're going to put this together, I'm going to use your strength and 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 your strength. That's why you heard him say, I don't have no expectations. I just want to learn who they are. Like, it's like chess. You don't have to try to outthink the opponent yet. If you just now, like, you need to learn what the pieces do themselves. What are they capable of? Once you learn the pieces and what they're capable of and their strengths and their weaknesses, then when you go into the battle, then you know what you need to do or why you would make a certain move versus why you would not. So that's what he's doing. So that's why he's going to create matchups with that. So he's just learning who the players are. So if we all got players that's similar, then that could be a benefit to him. He knows that, okay, in this time, I put Trey Tucker in the backfield to disguise the play. This time, we're going to put him out on the wide receiver and then put Naylor back there. They might not think Naylor going to get the play, but it's essentially the same play. But y'all out here looking at Trey Tucker now over here. And then you have Besh over here. And then while you doing all that, don't forget this Brock Bowers is on the field. Because y'all always got to make sure y'all know where Brock Bowers is. And while y'all looking at 89, we over here sticking this guy over here now. So it's just going to work. Y'all better. I hope y'all wish I was as confident about this as I am. I mean, a lot of people is talking out the both sides of their neck. Well, you know, I don't want to be wrong because I thought we were going to be good last year. And yeah, y'all was hollering them 3 games and 4 games earlier in the offseason, but I made y'all step y'all game up because I made y'all understand that really, if y'all really think that we was a 3 or 4 win team last year, y'all, I don't know what y'all was looking at. We just played bad because of the play calling and all the inner office fighting, the inner fighting. That'll ruin your team no matter how good you are. But y'all telling me with these guys that we brought in here, we're gonna be the same type of team. We're already 2-3 games better than last year, I promise you. But I would be highly surprised if we only won 3-4 games, even 5. I would be highly surprised. Now I wouldn't be pissed or nothing because we're in a transition, because it might be something that goes very wrong, like knock on wood, if you're with me. Let's just say, for example, Kobe Dean can't get his health together, right? And then our defense is now, instead of being in the middle of the pack, we towards the edge, in the end, and our offense is going, but it ain't clicked yet. Yeah, we can mess around winning 5 games. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Because we don't have no linebackers, and then next year, then we go get linebackers, and then go get a D tackle and a wide receiver, and then we'll go from them 4 or 5 games, and we'll go to 8 games, 9 games. Because I don't think we're going to stay where we are right now, which is in the basement. Like, that's not what we're doing. That is not what we're doing, guys. Let's see. Like Freddie B had, yeah, like Freddie B had separation. Yeah, but see, the thing is, excellent point. All you got to do is really have body control, because a lot of the corners are going to be on your hip pocket anyway. NFL open and college open is totally different. Now, you can shield your body off, and if Jack Best is really a big body receiver, and they say he been in the weights just like the rest of our team, you want to know why that is? Because we're going to have to block, y'all. Our receivers are going to have to block. This offense is predicated on blocking. Brock Bowers, you better get that blocking in. That's what I'm looking for. We know you can catch anything that falls out the sky, bro. I used to be like, I was like, I thought I had the best hands. I used to say the only person that could guard me is Deion Sanders, and that's because I like him. I felt like I really had the best hands, but Brock Bowers got hands. That boy got manos. So we need to see you block, though, bro. We need you to block. Yes, I agree with you. I want to see Michael Mayer show out too. Because it's funny, because a lot of people were really high on Michael Mayer, and I'm neutral, especially if I don't know about you, because I didn't watch a lot of college. Because how it translates in the NFL is, it's kind of weird. Like Reggie Bush was out there looking like he was playing with little kids all the time, and he came to the NFL and he was running into big dogs too. So I just kind of like watching players in their rookie year, but I started watching more and more. And Mayer was good, but then that's till we got Brock, and then he made Mayer look normal. Now, Mayer's going to be very, very important this year, and he's going to be more involved in the offense, and I like that for him, because we always kept trying to get him involved in the offense, but then it was usually at the detriment. Either Bowers was out, then they would start tagging Mayer, and I'm just hoping that his mental is right, because I remember he took a break and he almost left the team. People seem to forget that. But I'm rooting for him, don't get me wrong. So I'm looking for him to have a big year too, for sure. So is he gonna run Seattle? No. Is he gonna run Seattle plays? No. First of all, they're not Seattle plays; they're his plays. He just let Seattle borrow them. It's like both for ours. We're gonna keep it at our house though. Like, yeah, you're gonna call variations. it's a Kubiak system, right? So there's going to be variations, and there's really not a whole bunch of different new plays in the league anyway. It's just what do you call them, or what kind of tweak you add to them. It just boils down to when you're going to call them. That's what it is. That's why quarterbacks can go from one team to another. All they need to really learn is the verbiage. So that's why in AOC, that's why he's smart too. And I don't. That's why a lot of times players will tell you like, and even Kubiak has said like that's just nature of the NFL. You might have a different coordinator next year. I mean, like you can't use that as an excuse of why you can't catch on to something. Part of being a pro is having the ability to study it up. That's why they prefer you went to college and got a degree to, a higher level, higher educations, because this stuff is not simple. These plays aren't simple to remember. And you got to remember all of them and the different shifts and all that, especially in this offense. Because you line up in one way and then you go into a whole nother way. You got to learn all that. Do I think Chad Jackson makes Trey Tucker trade candidate? I don't know. What do you mean by that? Do I think Chad Jackson makes Trey Tucker a trade candidate? I don't. So that means he would have to be as good as him or better. And 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 the way Tucker has been progressing, Tucker's definitely been progressing, right? Now, should he? Do I think he's like the type of receiver that we need to rely on him as like number one all the time? No, but I don't think that's what we need in this offense. So I think it's almost a moot point. So I don't think no one's going to move Tucker out. But I think this is a contract year for him, and I'm expecting him to play like it's a contract year. And we're going to give him the bag because really at the end of the day, he endured. He's a Raider. Yep. DT is different from all the wide receivers. That's not that we need to see that still though. I mean, we saw a flash of it in week one. Flash of it. Yeah, see, I don't know. I don't know enough about this because isn't he going to go in the supplemental draft or something like that? I don't know. Can you guys tell me a little bit about him? Because a lot of people, I've seen a couple people talking about him, but I don't know enough about him to have an opinion. Like the things I have opinions on, I have strong opinions. And that don't even mean I'm right because with new information, I can be proven wrong. That's why I hope a lot of us do. Like you can think what you think, but once you get new information, you should be able to be intelligent enough to make that tweak. And sometimes that might change the outcome. Sometimes it might not. It might give you more clarity of your position. Or you might just need to move 2 or 3 degrees of separation and not the antithesis and go to the opposite end of the thought process. So I'm definitely open to I'm not above approach. That's what I'm basically saying. Let me see. Roster wise, we were a 7-8 team last year. But coaching staff wise, we were lucky to get the wins that we got. Hey Webb, this is the comment of the day. Hey Webb, you ain't never lied. You never lied. We might have been a 6, 7, maybe even 8-win team for real though. Had we would have got the right offensive coordinator, I'm telling you. We got the right offensive coordinator, but I knew once we got Chip Kelly that there goes the neighborhood. But we were lucky. You ain't lying. Because you see, we won the last game of the season with what 5, 6 field goals. We had to kick 5 field goals. The last one was a 60-yarder, like against the third string team. Man, it's gonna be Max and Dean. I hope so. I really hope Nakobe Dean is over his injury. You feel me? Because when they signed him, I was like, he might be nice, but he don't play. I'm always gonna look at that first, y'all. I'm sorry, I don't care how dope you are. I'm gonna always look at that first. That's why I have such a whatever against AOC. Not because I don't like him, not because I don't think he can play. I don't think he can get out the pocket if the house on fire. I don't think he can get out the house, and that's why he get injured. That's why I think that. But if you injured, it don't matter how good you are. Because availability is the best ability. We already know that. We already know that. Right, web facts. Let me see. I think here you go. Malik Benson and Zeke Masters will be shockers of our rookie class. Don't be shocked of Dalton Johnson as well either, y'all. Because it's gonna come to a point they're gonna be like, oh yeah, he's playing as good as Stoops, and that's because Stoops gonna make him look good. But they're gonna make each other look good. Let me not say it like that, but I will agree with you that I think Benson is like someone we can invest in. I think he's more like a project receiver. We got him in the 6th round, I think. I think he has something that he does well, and then there's other things that he needs to work on, like his route. He needs to work on his crispness of his routes, and that's something you can just do with time and reps. But whatever that one thing that he does, he run up the field, stretch the field, do whatever it is that he do, get open somehow and get up out of there, and however he does it, when he hit the field, he needs to do that. And if you're a 6th round wide receiver and they're allowing you to do that, then there's a lot of upside for you. And now Zeke Masses, now even Coach Kubiak said, hey, you're looking good, but let's see if you tackle. We need you to tackle, my boy. Because if you can tackle, then we can move you around. Because that's what our defense is going to be predicated. Chess pieces. I'm telling y'all, chess pieces. One time, Stoops going to be the freak. Stoops going to go down and be in the nickel. And then you're going to see Paul Malu back there. Oh, yeah, he played enough safety last year and got burnt enough times that he know how to take better angles, at least to play in a couple plays in a game. And if not, then Dalton Johnson. Just in case they try to run it, then we might have Palomar on the field with Chin. Like, we going to have options. Ain't nothing better than what options. So I think Zeke Master is going to be nice. A lot of people are liking him. And, he's hometown. He's hometown. Cal Berkeley. So Cedric Jackson was most likely on the practice squad again. Maybe. I just don't think there's going to be enough room in that wide receiver room. How many can you keep? Because you got Tucker, Dash, Thornton, Naylor, Benson. That's 5. Are you going to keep 6? Because if you get 6 wide receivers, you can't keep 3 quarterbacks. So, Sorry is our UDFA linebacker from Georgia. You play with Demon Walker too? Oh, really? I have to look him up. So why is he undrafted though? Oh, okay. I had those the 2 people mixed up. Oh, okay. See how close them names are though? Yeah, he's a quarterback. Yeah, so you said, I seen Chips act in Frisco, so I established serious doubts when we hired him. So it even goes back before then, though, because you got to look at how he ended up in San Francisco. So Chip Kelly was in Philadelphia. Philadelphia actually was playing pretty decent. And then one of their players, I can't think of this guy's name, man. One of their players went to Hold on, let me find out because I don't want to tell the story without his name.
The man you are thinking of is Riley Cooper.
Yeah, Riley Cooper.
For the Philadelphia Eagles was caught on video using a racial slur toward a security guard at a Kenny Chesney concert, not an Eagles concert.
Yeah. So Riley Cooper, he was a wide receiver. He was at a Kenny Chesney concert, and he was going off on this black guy, calling them all out his name, and it was recorded. And so Shane McCoy was on the team, and it was other brothers on the team that didn't like that. They wasn't feeling that because they was like, "That's what you feel about us on the slick when you in your own environment. That's what you feel like." And so Chip Kelly tried to downplay it, and then Chip Kelly tried to get Michael Vick to calm us down over it. And Michael Vick tried, but it still didn't work right because it was division in the locker room. And so I was just like, oh, okay, I see how this looked. And so they sent him to the Niners. And then he failed there and he got ran out the league. And then he went to college and they essentially ran him out of being a head coach and he ended up being a coordinator. And then somehow, some way, he backdoored his way to get back in the NFL because he won a national championship. And then came and ended up being the highest paid offensive coordinator in the NFL out of college. Like, I knew it was trouble then. Big trouble in Little Las Vegas. I knew it. So Mike Washington will be the top rookie this year. I'm not opposed to that. A lot of people think Ashton's gonna get 1,400 yards. I'm not seeing that. Matter of fact, if he does, I'm gonna be concerned because we have a Mike Washington. Mike Washington should get about 400, 500 yards this year. And that'd be nice if he could do that. I just need him to hold on to the pill. Please hold on to the pill. Don't fumble the ball because fumbles hurt every time it happens. Yeah, yeah. And Weber said, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, you forgot that about that in Philly. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened with Chip Kelly. And then they start saying Chip Kelly didn't like brothers. Sal, how come ain't no brothers on the wall, Sal? Gotta do the right thing, Sal. So, that just was a narrative or whatnot. And he went to Frisco and kind of followed him and they didn't achieve and he got ran out the league. A lot of people don't remember that about him. That's why we do the history over here. We do the education. We do the education. We don't just be talking over here. Well, I don't. I'll let y'all know when I just be saying stuff just to be saying it, which is rare and far in between. But tonight on the smoke show though, I'm going to talk about the the 5 players that we just keep coming up in trades, and we're going to see are they even legit? Because I think people are just saying a lot of this stuff, and I'm about to start. Like I said, I start paying attention because a lot of the people be changing their views based on what's going on in the moment, and I'm not going to tell you how to rate her, but I'm for sure not going to let fake narratives turn into debates with me as if I'm the delusional one, or as if if my chat raters they know what it is, and y'all trying to get them to believe something else because you heard this insider say. I don't even trust them insiders like that. I barely trust the former players, but I will listen to the former players way before I listen to a beat writer, an insider, an outsider, onsider, or offsider, an east sider, or a west sider. So yeah, I don't know. Do it now. So yeah, make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. Be back tonight, y'all. I do want to hang out with y'all. I wish y'all would come back tonight because it's going to be the smoke show. It's going to be Kickback. It's Friday, and it's Father's Day weekend. So happy Father's Day to all the fathers. You know, you don't get the love like you're supposed to, but you're going to get it here on this because we know you're Raider. You're Raider. From the Bay to LA to Las Vegas.
I'm a Raider. From the Bay to LA to Las Vegas. Recipes to Al Davis.